And Rob Watts, DW correspondent, now joins me for more on the story on steps that EU and the European Union intends to take against Russia in this case. So one, there is a notice to airmen or a NOTAM that has been issued. The airspace is completely sealed. What are the effective steps that EU intends to take? What more can you tell us, Rob, in terms of steps on ground to deter Russia?
Well, if you look at a map of planes in the air over Europe right now, you'll see a black hole in Ukraine and the surrounding area. That's because Ukraine has closed its airspace to civilian flights, saying there is a high risk to their safety. The reasons for that are pretty obvious. We know of shelling by Russian missiles in cities across Ukraine, and in the Ukrainian capital Kyiv, people are hiding out in bomb shelters. The European Union's Aviation Safety Agency has taken the additional step of not only telling planes to stay away from Ukraine itself, but also urging commercial airlines not to fly within 100 nautical miles of Ukraine's borders with Russia and Belarus. It says there's a risk of both intentional targeting and misidentification of civil aircraft. The agency will no doubt have in mind the shooting down of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 over Ukraine back in 2014. Almost 300 passengers heading from Kuala Lumpur to Amsterdam died in that incident. So the EU's Aviation Safety Agency wants European planes to stay well away from Ukraine.
Oh, absolutely. Post MH17, no one takes chances in this part of the region. So no flights, not just over Ukraine, but 100, kilometers around this area. Also, they're ensuring that no flights take place. But trading also stopped at the stock exchange in Moscow. What do you make of that? What's happening there?
Well, we've already had the sanctioning of Russian banks, individuals and other institutions. But given the severe turn the situation has taken on Thursday, more severe sanctions will certainly be coming. From Germany's perspective, a major card was already played earlier this week when it announced the halting of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline approval process. This is a multi-billion-dollar project that was supposed to double German imports of Russian gas by the Baltic Sea. But another nail has also been hammered into the coffin of Nord Stream 2 now by the Americans. They've officially sanctioned the company that operates the pipeline. So it's now very hard to imagine gas surging through Nord Stream 2 in the near future, if ever, because Russia's military assault on Ukraine is not going to be forgotten quickly.
Oh, absolutely. That's a very interesting point you make. It's not just in the short term, medium term, but you're also talking about perhaps medium, if not long term, that no gas will gush through Nord Stream 2 into Germany from Russia. The situation is extremely grim. But do these sanctions stop just at technology denial and stopping Nord Stream 2 or non-certification of Nord Stream 2? Or do we expect more intense steps being taken by the European Union in the days ahead?
Well, in recent days, we've seen Russian stocks plummet as a result of the tensions between Russia and Ukraine. And today, the Moscow Stock Exchange took the dramatic decision to suspend trading on all markets, saying only that it would announce the resumption of trading at a later date. It was no more specific than that because we have no idea how protracted the situation in Ukraine is going to be. Also dramatic is the plummeting value of the Russian ruble, which has fallen to its lowest ever value against the US dollar. The impact of those Western sanctions, both threatened and also already imposed on Russia, have taken a heavy toll on the country's currency. We've also seen the price of oil surging over recent days, and that's continued apace as Russian troops have entered into Ukraine. Brent crude has actually just crossed the $100 a barrel mark for the first time since way back in 2014, which is when Ukraine annexed Crimea, when Russia annexed Crimea. We've also seen major losses on equity markets around the world. So the extraordinary developments in Ukraine are echoing across the globe.
They indeed appear to be echoing, and the action on ground is intense. The shelling that is on, the heliborne operations that are being undertaken, the air offensive that is being talked about, and the offensive from sea. We will continue to report on this big story from Ground Zero, but that is all I have time for on this special broadcast from Mariupol in eastern Ukraine. A quick break. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.